Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out and taking some time to watch it. Much appreciated. And guys, today we're going to be talking about some of the a-holes you need to watch out when you're towing your boat out there. I sort of want to identify who those people are a little bit, and then I sort of want to share with you guys some stories of my near misses towing a boat over the years, because you figure I've been fishing for tournament fishing for over 40 years, and I've averaged probably 30,000 miles a year towing a boat. So I don't know what that adds up to, but I think it's well over 1,000,000 miles towing a boat. So I've got a lot of different experiences to share with you guys. Thought you guys might find it interesting to share a few of those stories. So we're going to get into that in today's video. Man, I tell you guys, I'm a little bit bummed out this morning. Today's the second day of the Toyota Series Championship on Table Rock Lake, which is my home lake just down the road about 30 miles. And I just missed qualifying for it by like one decent bite. They take the top 25, and I missed it by like, what was it, 10 or 12 places or something like that. So I definitely would have liked my shot down there at the tournament this week, but I'd probably just get irritated because it's just a live scope fest going on down there right now. But anyway, I've been thinking about that. Also, guys, just real quick before we get started in today's video here, a couple different things. Please swing by, check out our Fish the Moment winter lake map breakdowns. I'll put the link in the description. And also I'll put my Tackle Warehouse, just my generic Tackle Warehouse link in the description. If you guys need any tackle from Tackle Warehouse, if you could use that link, it's a good way to support the channel. So much appreciated. Okay, guys, first of all, let's identify the a-holes that I'm talking about there, what they are. You know, what we're talking about here is driving safety towing a boat, as far as, different stories about how you can get in trouble, people that, you have to watch out for that can get you in trouble. And there's three categories of people that I have seen from towing a boat for over 40 years that are the most dangerous people to be around on the road. Number one's truck drivers, guys. And like I said, when I talk about these, I'm not saying every one of them are like this. I'm just saying that, by far, this is the demographic that poses the biggest threat to you towing a boat. Truck drivers, and I'm gonna explain this, and I'm gonna tell you a few stories that near misses I've been involved with. Truck drivers are super dangerous. Like I said, not all of them, but there is quite a few truck drivers out there that can definitely put you into some serious situations if you don't watch what you're doing. One of the biggest things there's two things that a truck driver does that is extremely dangerous, and every one of them that do it need a major ass whipping for doing it. But number one is, if you've noticed when you're towing a boat, or if you've driven very much, when it's raining out or snowing, for some reason those big semi trucks speed up. It's like they drive faster in the snow and the rain than what they do. And what happens is, a lot of those guys, when it's snowing or raining, they will pass you so fast that you're blinded for quite a while from the spray of the snow or the rain. I'll give you guys one example. I was coming back from a tournament. This has probably been, 25 years, maybe close to 30 years ago. I was coming back from a tournament in Florida, and I can't remember, I think I was in like Tennessee or maybe southern Arkansas or something like that, and there was a major snowstorm that was coming through, snowing pretty hard. And I was on this 2-lane road pulling my boat back home, and the speed limit, I think it was a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, but it was snowing so hard that visibility was pretty reduced, and it was a pretty straight stretch of road. And I was going pretty slow towing my boat. I was probably going, 35 miles an hour, because, the snow was covering the road. This semi truck passed me like I was standing still in the snow on a 2-lane road, and it completely blinded me. There was nothing. All I could see, it's like somebody took a white sheet and put it over my windshield. That's what it was. And I put the brakes on slowly because I didn't want to skid. I was going 35 or maybe 40 miles an hour. And by the time that I got stopped, I had drifted over into the other lane, almost off the road over there. Now, you can imagine if a car would have been coming the other direction, it would have plowed right into me. I mean, there are so many situations where probably the worst one. But there's so many situations where those semi trucks will completely blind you when they pass you. So if you see one of them coming up, you definitely need to take precautions, because you can definitely something's going to happen there if you don't, are not careful with it. The other thing a semi truck driver will do is they will get on your ass and ride it that far away. If you get those aggressive semi truck drivers that are, for whatever reason, I've had them when I was going, 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. They will get on your butt that far away. And just like, it's like almost road rage for nothing. It's like, those guys, you just want to beat their ass for doing that. And it's like, be careful around those guys. Do not assume a semi-truck driver is going to do the right thing, because they're not. I mean, they're by far, semi-truck drivers are the most dangerous threat to people towing boats out there on a highway or a regular road. Followed up by that, to a lesser degree, would be those dudes that always drive the Challengers and the Mustangs and those Chargers, those type of guys. I've never been around a guy that drives a Challenger or Mustang or Charger that doesn't think that they've got to drive 30 miles an hour over the speed limit anywhere they go. They're in and out of traffic like this. They're sort of like, they're like little pesky gnats. They're just like, it's like they've got to accelerate that accelerator so they can, cause some noise pollution. It's like, you don't want to hear their stupid loud motor, but those those Charger guys are in and out of you a lot of times. That has caused me having to swerve to avoid hitting them. And the same with the crotch rocket motorcycle drivers. So that's the three most dangerous things that you're going to face out there as pulling a boat, is semi trucks, crotch rocket motorcycles, and Charger and Challenger drivers. Keep an eye out for them, guys. And the main thing is, like anyone else says, it's all about defensive driving. You cannot assume that somebody's going to do the right thing. You have got to be aware. You've got to keep your eyes on the road all the time, especially when you're around traffic. And slow down around curves, guys. Here's another thing. Anytime that I come to a curve with my boat, towing a boat, I slow down like a grandma. And I see some of these guys that they just almost accelerate around the curves like that. Don't do that. Just curves are dangerous. You never know when you're going to fall off just 6 inches off the side and get your boat fishtailing. So just slow down around those curves there. Now, let me share you guys with a few stories that I've got as far as near misses I've had over the years towing a boat. First one, let's talk about how I used to triple tow my excuse me, dang, the allergies thing. But anyway, I used to triple tow, which basically what I had is I had my pickup truck and I had a 25-foot fifth wheel, and then I had my boat on the back of the fifth wheel. And there was a period of about 20 years ago where quite a few of us did this. There was probably a dozen different anglers out there that triple towed. And triple towing was a little bit dangerous. I mean, it wasn't if you're safe and you just went the speed limit, but the fact that you had over 70 feet of length on your rig, it posed some, a little bit more challenging driving conditions. But there's one thing that happened to me that made me quit doing that. I was coming back from a tournament and I was going through Nashville, Tennessee. And I was going about 55 miles an hour pulling my triple tow there. And Nashville, there's like 4 lanes of traffic. So I'm like in the middle lane driving, just going the speed limit. And this car in front of me, all of a sudden, the hood on this car in front of me pops up, it flips up, and this dude slams his brakes on, like right in front of me. And I'm going 55 miles an hour. And he just froze up. He wasn't aware of the fact people were right behind him. So he locks his car up because his hood flipped up like that, going 55 miles an hour. And I'm getting ready to plow into this guy. And there's no doubt about it. I'm gonna hit this guy. I've got a split second to decide. It's like I can either swerve to avoid him or I'm gonna hit him. And it happened so quick that I didn't even have time to look over to see if there was somebody in my other lane. So I just instinctively, whipped it to the left like that. And fortunately and I couldn't believe it, there was nobody in that other lane. And the whole rig was fishtailing like this, and I finally got it under control. But that could have been freaking terrible. I could have either plowed in the back of that guy, or I could have hit somebody or two cars with 70-foot rig going over. And that was such a impactful event. I quit triple towing after that. I could not stand to do it anymore. Another thing that you have to watch out towing is for road conditions, towing a boat, because a car reacts completely different when there's a boat behind it versus not. I'll give you guys another story. Something happened to me. I was going fishing I was on my way up to Stockton Lake going fishing about probably 10 years ago. And it was probably 8 o'clock in the morning or so. It was still plenty light out like that. There wasn't anyone out there. And Stockton Lake has got a bunch of these sort of rolling hills and 2-lane roads. There wasn't anybody out there, and a buddy was with me. We were going to the lake fishing together, and there was this straight stretch of road, and it was sort of, hilly a little bit like that. And I got ready I was going up a slight hill, going completely straight, and I was only going maybe, 40 miles an hour. Wasn't going very fast at all. And all of a sudden, I lose traction on my back tires, and my boat starts fishtailing like that. And I let up on it, and my whole truck started fishtailing, and I lost control of this thing. And I fishtailed all the way over into the opposite lane, coming this way, went into the ditch. When I hit the ditch, it hit at the right angle. It launched my boat off of my trailer into this farmer's field, like 50 yards away, and we're in the ditch, me and my buddy, and it happened so quick. It's like I looked over and my buddy's in the back seat. He didn't even have his seatbelt on. He got thrown in the back seat. I got my leg cut up a little bit from hitting it like that, and I didn't even know about the boat until I looked back. It's like, where the heck's my boat at? And we looked over there, and it was literally 50 yards in this field, just sitting on its side over there. So we're like, what the hell happened with that? So we walked over there, and what had happened is the county had just sprayed oil on the road there. And what they did is they sprayed the oil on the road right on that grade. And the road, it didn't have real rough pavement. It was pretty smooth. It was like slick. And we walked over there. It was so slick on that road that we both about fell down on our butts. It was so slick. You could slide down it just like it was as greased ice like that. I should have sued the county. I wound up, I had to get a tow truck in there. They had to tow it. They had to put this tow truck on my boat, winch it up there, put it on a flatbed. But anyway, the point of that is be extremely careful for road conditions, because you never know what they're going to be. Even if you're going slow, they can be dangerous. And also, guys, you just have to be aware of everybody else. Be aware of what other people are doing. I'll wind it up with one other final story. I got a bunch of other smaller ones, but these are just ones that stand out. We were fishing a tournament down at was it Old Hickory Lake? Yeah, it was Old Hickory Lake in Tennessee. And I was on my way to the registration, the partner pairings for that night, pulling my boat. And when I was driving into town there, again, there was this 2-lane road, and I'm pulling the boat, just going the speed limit like this down this 2-lane road. And I look up in front of me, and there's an intersection, I don't know, maybe 100 yards in front of me. And all of a sudden, this car that was sitting at the I was going like this, and there was an intersection in front of me, and there was a car waiting to pull out into the road, and there was another car coming like this. So anyway, I'm going this way, and I see this car at the intersection there, and this car coming towards it. The car that's waiting at the intersection pulls out. He didn't see the car coming this way, and this guy that's coming towards me. Now I'm going 55 miles an hour like this. This other car's coming to me at 55 miles an hour. He tries to swerve to avoid that car pulling out. He loses control, and all of a sudden, he loses control. His car starts flipping end on end, and it's rolling towards me. I'm going 55 miles an hour, and this car is rolling in the middle of the highway like this towards me, and I whip it off to the side, barely miss the guy, pull it over. Car's upside down in the middle of the road back there. So I get out of the car, run over there, and this car there's gas leaking everywhere. There's a woman pinned in this car screaming at the top of her lungs. She's upside down in the car like that, and I can't get her out. I called 911 immediately, And I'm trying to get this woman out of there because I don't know if this car is going to blow up or whatever. And she was pinned in it, and she was just like screaming bloody murder. And finally, the paramedics got there just a few minutes later, got her out. But you just never know, man. You just never know what is going to come your way. So main thing, guys, is just slow down, pay attention, just be aware, and stay away from those dang semi-trucks. Semi-trucks pose your greatest threat as a bass angler when you're traveling to these lakes across the country. Don't assume a semi-truck driver is going to do the right thing, because they don't a lot of the times, and they're going to cause some problems if you don't watch out. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk later.